Good morning, we are the Finite 10 and today we will be giving a presentation on the topic that include human rights violation in Myanmar. Finite group members are G9005, G9026, G9016, G9022, G9025, G9027, G9030, and I003. In our presentation, they include human rights violation social topic. What are human rights violations? Introduction. Trial human rights violation. Why human rights violation matter? The role in the national community. Human rights in Myanmar. The next persona is Journaling.
Here's a stretched outline for a social studies or research paper on the issue of human rights violations in Myanmar. 1. Introduction. Brief background on Myanmar, geography, population, ethnicity, definition of human rights and their importance in society. The statement. Myanmar has faced widespread human rights violations, particularly affecting ethnic minorities, political dissidents, and civilians, due to long-standing military rule and systemic oppression. And the next presenter is Heng-san.
Forms of human rights violation, ethnic cleansing, and genocide have occurred. The Rohingya crisis includes mass killings, displacement, and statelessness. There is suppression of freedom of expression and assembly. Journalists, protesters, and political activists, example Aung San Suu Kyi, have been arrested. Torture, arbitrary detention, and extrajudicial killings have been taken place. Child soldiers have been used, and forced labor have been prioritized. Displacement and refugee crisis continue. Impact on society. Psychological trauma and fear have affected civilians. There is a breakdown of trust in government and institutions. Education, healthcare, and livelihood has been disrupted. Ethnic minorities and women have been especially impacted. The next presenter is Sarah.
Human rights violations are actions of police that violate the basic rights and freedom to live. All people are entitled simply because they are human. The rights are outlined in international documents such as the Universal Declaration of Human Rights (UDHR), adopted by the United Nations in 1948 and in various international treaties and national law. Examples of human rights violations: 1. Torture and human treatment, beating, electroshock, waterboarding, or other forms of physical or psychological abuse, often committed by security forces or in detention centers. 2. Unlawful detention, holding someone in custody without legal justification, trial, or access to legal counsel. 3. Suppression of freedom or suppression of press, censoring journalists, imprisoning critics of the government, or banning peaceful protests. The next presenter is Jason.
For discrimination and equal treatment based on wage and religion, sexual orientation, nationality, disability, in Indian law, employment, education, or healthcare. 5. Child exploitation, child labor, child soldier, sexual exploitation of minor. 6. Human trafficking and slavery, forcing people into labor, sexual exploitation through coercion or detention. 7. Denial of education or healthcare, preventing people from accessing blues, service, especially marriage and life. 8. Genocide and ethnic cleansing, systematic killing for unmovable people or ethnicity who are human. The next presenter is the
Human rights violations occur when action by state or non-state are infringe on the basic rights and freedom entitled to all individuals. These violations can take many forms and effects. Various aspects apply. Below are the main types of human rights violation categorized for clarity. 1. Civil and political rights violation. These relate to personal freedom and protection from abuse by government or authority. Torture and inhuman treatment, arbitrary arrest and detention, extrajudicial killing, enforced disappearance, suppression of freedom of speech, press or assembly, unfair trial or denial of due process, discrimination based on race, gender, religion, or ethnicity, suppression of political participation in separatist election disrepresentments. The next presenter is Tora.
Economic, social, and cultural rights violation. The affect people's ability to live with dignity and accessibility need. Deny or access to education, adequate healthcare or discrimination in healthcare service for evasion and homelessness, and child labor condition, example for labor, child labor, and child workplaces. Hunger and malnutrition due to lack of access to food, lack of their neighbor is high.
Human rights violations matter because they undermine the dignity, freedom, and equality that every person is entitled to simply by being human. Here's why they are critically important. 1. Protection of human dignity. Human rights are based on the idea that all people deserve to live with dignity. Violations like torture, discrimination, or unlawful imprisonment strip people of that dignity. 2. Social and political stability. Society where human rights are regularly violated often suffer from unrest, corruption, and conflict. When rights are respected, people are more likely to trust institutions, engage in civil life, and work toward common goals. 3. Legal and moral responsibilities. State States have both legal obligation under international treaties and moral responsibilities to protect the rights of people within their borders. Violation these rights breaches international law and ethical norms. 4. Human deployment. Violation of rights like access to education, healthcare, and freedom. Human rights violation matters because they undermine the dignity, freedom, and equality that every person is entitled to simply by being human. Here's why they are critically important. 1. Protection of human dignity. Human rights are based on the idea that all people deserve to live with dignity. Violations like torture, discrimination, or unlawful imprisonment strip people of that dignity. The next presenter is Sweet.
2. Social and political stability. Societies where human rights are regularly violated often suffer from unrest, corruption, and conflict. When rights are respected, people are more likely to try a situation, engage in civil life, and work toward common goal. The next presenter is Nina.
Legal and moral responsibility. States have both legal obligation under international treaty and moral responsibility to protect the right of people within their border. Widen these rights breach international law and ethical law. The next prisoner is Saya.
For human development violation, all rights like access to education, healthcare, and freedom or aberration limit people potential. One rights are affected, people can like have their move, educated, and move for feeling like the next presenter is Hansen.
5. Global implication. Human rights are not confined by borders. Systematic violation in one country can lead to refugee crisis, regional instability, and global human rights campaigns, and holding them is essential for international peace and security. 6. Prevention of atrocities. Many of the world events in history, genocide, slavery, apartheid, began with ancient human rights violations. Addressing small violations early helps prevent larger abuse later.
In short, human rights violations matter because they damage individuals, weaken societies, and threaten global peace. Respecting human rights is essential to building just, fair, and resilient communities. The next presenter is Julian.
Here's a concise and clear conclusions on the issue of human rights violations. Conclusions on the issue of human rights violations. Human rights violations remain a critical global challenge affecting millions of people regardless of nationality, race, gender, or social status. These violations undermine human dignity, security, and equality, often occurring in the form of political oppression, discrimination, and conflict, and the suppression of basic freedoms. Addressing this issue requires a collective commitment from governments, international organizations, civil society, and individuals, strengthening legal frameworks, ensuring accountability, promoting awareness, and supporting victims are essential steps toward a more just human world. Upholding human rights is not just a legal obligation, it is a moral imperative that defines our shared humanity. I'd just like to conclude by saying that human rights are the foundation of peace, justice, and freedom. Violation of these rights harm not only individuals but the entire society. It is our shared responsibility to stand against injustice and speak out for those who cannot. Together, we can build a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much for your time and pay attention. If you have any questions, we will be happy to answer them.